Welcome into Better and Green, and today we have a special episode for you guys. We're talking fantasy football, and speaking of fantasy football, make sure you guys are subscribed and following us on socials, because right now we're giving away 3 free draft kits. We're talking stickers, the draft board, completely free. Just make sure that you're subscribed, share our posts on socials, and we'll be giving those away here towards the end of July. And we got a special one today, a very important question that every young guy has played before. We're talking about draft or pass. So for our first question, guys, I want to know draft or pass. Garrett Wilson in the second round.
I am going to say pass.
Yeah, there's no way for me, unless you're like in a 16-person draft.
That's his ADP. He's going in the second round. That's
Really?
nuts.
Whew.
It's probably
the one guy that couldn't make the draft, who just gets all the scum players.
Yeah.
yeah, the mock draft guy.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I feel like we're super over pricing what Rodgers is bringing to that team, because they're not going to all of a sudden start throwing it a ton. Their big strength is their defense. And you're going to have Breece Hall coming back. He brought over all his boys from Green Bay for a reason. So Garrett Wilson in the second round, great guy, great young guy, good quarterback combination. I don't see second round.
Sophomore slump incoming.
That's a good point.
Very true.
All right, I will take the next one. My question is, this is wide receiver 1 versus tight end 1. Are you taking Travis Kelce, the number 1 ranked tight end according to Fantasy Pros, or Justin Jefferson, number 1 wide receiver according to Fantasy Pros?
My gut says Justin Jefferson. However, I've been screwed by Kelce numerous years in a row. So my gut, I think the smart choice would be taking Justin Jefferson. But I've been screwed by Kelce for too long. So I don't know where I would lean. Jefferson is going to be my gut choice.
I'll give you a definitive answer. That's Travis Kelce. And it's not just because of the guy you see in the background. He is a freak at the position. I mean, when I was doing the tight end rankings for our draft guide, which comes out on July 7th, make sure you check it out. It was like his scores were 2 of the tight ends combined, like within the top 15. Like he's the +4 in Uno. He's going to score probably within the top 5 wide receivers, I'm guessing, at least top 10 for sure. He had, I believe, 110 receptions last year. Next closest was Hawkinson at 87. So especially if you're in a PPR league, I think Travis Kelce, I might take him 4th overall. There might only be 3 running backs ahead of him.
Wow.
I'm with you, Ben, and I wouldn't knock anybody for taking him 1st overall, honestly.
No, that's the difference he is.
Because like you said, that drop-off after him is insane.
Yeah.
So I was an owner of Kelce and Jefferson last year. I preferred Kelce.
Yeah.
Jefferson still had some buds. He had some weeks where he would put up 1, 2, 3 points.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't remember Kelce doing that. Maybe he did once or twice, but yeah, I don't know. It's nice to draft him and not worry about tight end all year. For that one bye week.
Yeah. Like if you're taking a tight end in the 1st and then a wide receiver, let's say in the 3rd versus the other way around, you might get Andrews, but if tight ends go early, I mean, if you're waiting until mid-round tight ends, that drop off, we're talking like 75 to 100 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Where I think the exact from 1 to 2 was like 50 points, and then among receivers it was 4, and among running backs it was 3. So that is a positional advantage.
Yep.
All right, I'm up. So each year in the draft, there's always that guy that late in the draft that you're going to take a risk on. He's sometimes suspended. He's sometimes on a new team. So we have a lot of those this year. I'll leave it to just 3. Is it worth taking the risk on, again, this is every single year for the past 4 years, Michael Thomas, OBJ, or Ezekiel Elliott. Are those guys worth taking a risk late, like right before kickers or defense, like really, really late? Obviously, it depends where Zeke ends up, but is it worth taking the risk on any of those guys? Or should you just pick them up off the waivers?
Michael Thomas would have to be later probably for me than kicker defense at this point in his career. He just doesn't play. The other two are interesting. I think I'd be more apt to draft Zeke before I draft OBJ. Yeah, I would take Zeke before kicker defense. OBJ would be right there. I guess it would be depending on who's still on the board. And then Michael Thomas, I probably wouldn't touch for a little while.
I'm completely out
I
on
don't know
OBJ.
though. His name. Are you?
I am.
If Michael Thomas is there in the round, I mean, it's hard.
They got
I don't know.
Derek Carr now, so I'm going to give Michael Thomas one more year. If he can't do it this year, then like Aaron Rodgers' COVID, like if this toe and he's just not healthy, I'm done. I'm done with Michael Thomas. OBJ, last time we saw him, he was tearing his ACL in the Super Bowl, and now we've had multiple ACL tears, all these injuries piling up. Didn't play football at all last year. Le'Veon Bell, we saw what happened when he came back from his holdout. Was never the same player, and he's admitted that he regrets it. And then Zeke, it really definitely is a landing spot. I think I'd still take a chance on Zeke though.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you, Ben. I'm probably not going to touch Michael Thomas just because, again, he hasn't played and God knows when. OBJ, I think, is just old. Again, a year out of football is tough. I do think Zeke's worthwhile. There's a couple other guys that I didn't even mention, like Dalvin Cook's probably more capital than Zeke is. A couple guys with suspension. Jameson Williams is probably worth the pickup as well. A couple other of these guys. But I do think out of those three, Zeke would probably be my choice to grab before the – actually, Zeke might be a couple rounds before kicker defense. I think he might, depending what team. And we'll see if that's by draft time. But I agree with you that Zeke's probably the guy out of that list.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's stop talking about the old guys for a second. Let's talk about one of the rookies. Big guy from the draft. Everybody's thinking about him. Bijan Robinson. I want to know, where would you rank Bijan among running backs in redraft? He's currently at running back 4 according to ADP. Is that too high? Is that too low?
Too high. I don't take shots on rookies that high, which I should have on Zeke his rookie year because he exploded. But yeah, I think they tend to fail more than they succeed and are actually worth that draft position. So I won't be touching Bijan that early.
Yeah, I agree. It's too high. He's too high up on the list at 4. I think Chubb is at 5. I would automatically put Chubb ahead of him.
Yeah.
I would even put Saquon above of him as well. I know Saquon has injury issues, but a full healthy Saquon is going to be better than a rookie Bijan. So I understand he has a lot of ability. I know he's a kind of like that scat back, a lot of passing opportunities, but you can't put him, first of all, above Chubb. That's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
And then I think Saquon's like 7 or something. So I'd probably put him like 7, 8, Bijan, right around there. I think 4 is way too high.
That seems fair. He seems like a running back 1, but at the same time, like even I'm feeling like Aaron Jones, a guy that might be catching a lot of passes from a new Jordan Love. Bijan, you're taking a running back in an offense that could be really bad again this year. Desmond Ridder. We'll see if Pitts can stay healthy. We'll see what London can do. If they're down in games, you can't keep running the ball. And I think Bijan will be fine, but I think at 4 is kind of absurd.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that moves right into my next question really well because it is also Bijan related. And my question is, which I think we all kind of just answered, do you take Bijan, which I think we said was 4th ADP, or Austin Eckler is the 3rd ranked ADP? Eckler, a little bit older, had the contract issue, but obviously got that settled, all behind him. I'm a big Eckler guy myself. Sounds like from what you guys just said, it would be Eckler. But yeah, curious to know what you guys think.
Yeah, I get worried about Eckler every single year because he's a smaller guy. I think he's just going to get broken half, and he just has yet to really have that big injury. So I'm always a skeptic of Eckler's, but even with that, I have to take Eckler. Even with he's the ADP already ahead of Bijan, which I think Bijan's again way too high. So yeah, it's got to be Eckler, hands down.
I agree. You get Eckler, who's proven he can do it in the Chargers offense, versus Bijan on the Falcons. I'm going to take Eckler without really even having to think about it.
Yep.
All right, I got a would you rather. I got two guys, and you got to pick which one you would draft, which one you would pass on. So big name in the draft, especially for me and Ethan. We got Gibby Boy, Gibbs at running back. I'm not quite sure what his ADP is. I think he's like in the late teens, early 20s, or Pacheco from the Chiefs. And I think he's like 6 spots below Gibbs. So would you rather draft a Gibb guy that we have no idea what he's going to do, or a Pacheco that we know is going to get right around 8 to 9 to 10 points a game?
I'm going to surprise you guys. I'm going Gibbs. I think that they drafted him high, surprised the hell out of me. I was at the draft. I almost cried when they announced the pick. Gibbs, he's fantastic. They drafted him with a plan to use him with the receiving prowess that he has. My only concern is the touchdowns that are going to get stolen by David Montgomery. But my argument to that is Pacheco, he's going to get his touchdown stolen from the Chiefs passing at the 5-yard line. They get down. I think they throw the highest percentage of passes at the goal line than any other team in the league. Pacheco, I think he'll be fine. I'm sure probably around 1,000 yards, around 9 touchdowns. I just think Gibbs is going to be just a little bit better.
Ben, do the Chiefs still have Jerick McKinnon?
They do. And Clyde.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take Pacheco, I think. I like what I saw of Pacheco at the end of last year and in the postseason. He looks like a true RB1 for that team. I think they get him more involved this year. And again, I'm really hesitant on taking rookies in my fantasy lineups. Of course, it's going to be really hard. I mean, I'll probably have 3, 4, or 5 teams. I will probably take Gibbs at some point in one of those leagues just to have him. But yeah, I think if my big money league, I think if it came down to those two, I think I'd give Pacheco the nod. But it's close.
It is.
Yeah, I kind of like Ethan. I don't really like rookie anything, especially running backs, a really vital position. And I also don't really know what he's going to do in this offense. He's coming into the Lions with a brand new rushing core. No idea what his minutes are going to be. No idea what his play count's going to be. It's just too much risk. And again, I like Pacheco. I think he's on the best team in the NFL. Obviously, there's issues with the red zone, goal line, but I mean, he, like you said, 1,000 yards, 9, 10 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know if Gibbs is going to do that. So I got to play it safe and take Pacheco. Tough name.
Yes. Yeah. Man, we just Freaky Friday our running backs there. I got a good one. Would you rather have Terry McLaurin in the 4th round or London mid-5th? I asked this question because the thing they have in common is they're good receivers with crappy quarterbacks.
Wyatt, I'll let you field that one first.
Yeah, so I'm a scary Terry guy. I got to admit, I'm a scary Terry guy. Redskins are like my 3rd favorite team since I happen to live there. He's a top 10 wide receiver, just has never had a quarterback. Like, he's unreal. He was unreal at Ohio State. Finally a good Ohio State player. I think he has the ability to really break out one of these years. Unfortunately, probably not this year because their quarterback situation's trash, just like it's been his whole career. But I like him better than London, and I think, well, quarterback-wise, they're both trash, both Falcons and the Commanders. I just got to go with Scary Terry. I think he's just the best. I think he could be a top 5, top 10 wide receiver. So I don't think London will ever live up to that in his career. So I got to go with Scary Terry over London.
That's tough. I'm going to lean Scary Terry just because I think the 5th is a little early for London. If you gave me London in the 6th, I'd probably take London. I don't know. I had Scary Terry 2 years ago. Didn't really do much for me. He did more than what he did this past year. Had London this year, rode my bench the entire year. So honestly, I'd like to avoid them both, but I think for the sake of the question, I would take Scary Terry.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is the best talent, and I think that they're going to try to get him the ball as much as possible. Even if they're bad targets, I think they're going to try to do some short stuff for him. So, Scary Terry, round for all of us.
Alrighty. Draft or pass, Zach Wilson's mom.
Draft.
No, I am going to just ask the age-old question. I feel like it comes around every year. Do you take your kicker first or do you take your defense first? Which one do you hold more value in?
So every single year, I have the same exact draft strategy. My last 2 picks are always kicker defense. I never get the best defense. I never get the best kicker. One of my questions is about defense coming up. But yeah, I'd probably take defense first. I don't really care at all about kickers. There's 3 good kickers in the league. I seem to play them every single week. So, yeah, I would probably go defense first. But again, defense I just change every week anyways off of waivers. So, I got to take kicker last. That's going to be my thought.
I pretty much draft the exact same way every year also. But what I do is I don't draft either of them. I just take extra running backs, wide receivers. When that Thursday comes and you have to have someone, then you drop the 2 you don't want anymore. And you do that every week. Every week you get extra flex worthy players that you get to keep, hide them away from other teams. If I had to pick one, I would probably pick kicker because there's nothing worse than having a good defense and they're going against like a Chiefs or a really good offense. You know they're going to get torn up, but you can't drop them. And I just don't want to be in that situation. I'm never going to roster 2 defenses, which I do see from time to time.
Yeah, I'll kind of split the tie here. I am the exact same way. I draft them my very last 2 picks, if at all. And typically what I'll do is I'll be eyeing a defense who plays like, I don't know, who doesn't put up any points.
Texans, Cardinals.
Yeah, I'll be eyeing those teams, and I'll have my eye on that defense. If they go, then typically I'll go kicker next. I'm always drawn to Matt Prater just because no one ever takes him, and I think he's still got a hell of a leg on him. But yeah, if that defense that I've been eyeing is available, I'll take them in the second to last round and then draft whichever kicker is left. But I do know people that kicker defense like 9th, 10th round, which is kind of weird.
Very weird. You can never trust those guys with anything.
You can't.
Just like the first guy to get a quarterback, can never trust that guy.
Oh, that's coming later.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go away from defense for a second because that's another question. I have a scenario, a hypothetical. Would you rather draft – I'm sorry, Ben. Would you rather draft Patty Mahomes and know he's going to have a season-ending injury week 11, or take Lawrence and know he's going to play all however long the fantasy season is, 14 to 16 games?
Lawrence, I don't even have to think about it. Sure, you get Patty. If it was a different quarterback, I might say Patrick, but I think Lawrence is actually going to have a really respectable year. They got Ingram, they got Kirk. He was good last year, and now they had Calvin Ridley. So I feel good with Lawrence as my starter. Even though he might not be the best quarterback in the league, I would rather have a consistent starter than have to worry about that in the fantasy playoffs, really when it matters most.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Lawrence for me, no question. I think he's going to have a great year. And then, yeah, it really comes down to the fantasy playoffs. Like Ben just said, it's really where that matters. So if you gave me Mahomes only for the playoffs or Lawrence all year, like, yeah, I'd still probably like Lawrence. But, yeah, I think playoffs is what matters most. So I always suck anyway. I start out like 1-5 every single year and then squeak into the playoffs and do pretty well. So Mahomes wouldn't even really help me in the first couple of weeks anyway, probably.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. And it was kind of Mahomes, even I guess the Chiefs really don't ever put in the subs at the end of the year. They seems like they're always staying competitive with someone in the AFC. However, it was like the Cowboys or the Eagles where they bench everyone the last couple of weeks. That really affects the fantasy playoffs. So I know the AFC doesn't really do that. But yeah, I'd have to agree. Lawrence, I think he's going to have a decent year. However, he just doesn't put up Mahomes numbers. But if you can get him for the whole season as opposed to 2/3 of it, got to go Lawrence, who's going to be consistently, hopefully 20 points a game.
Yeah, totally agree. You guys ready for another hard one?
Yes, sir.
All right. Who would you rather have? Sanders on the Panthers or Swift on the Eagles?
Ooh.
Sanders. Oh, God, I don't know. I mean, Swift is probably going to play like 5 games. So
There
for
you
that
go with
reason,
the Swift slander again.
I mean, God, if Swift plays, he's going to be like a pretty big weapon in that offense, I'd have to think. But I don't know. I mean, they still have all those other randos that ball hawk touchdowns. Kenneth, what's his name? And
Gainwell.
Kenneth Gainwell
Boston
and
Scott.
BJ, Boston Scott.
Got Rashad Penny now, too. Can't forget about Rashad Penny.
The Eagles do? Sheesh.
At the time of this recording, they do.
Yeah. Well stated. God, man, I don't know. I'm gonna play it safe and go. I'll go Swift.
I'm pretty high on Swift this year. It just makes sense when someone leaves Detroit, whatever sport it is, they go on to have the best career I've ever seen in my life. So I'm going to go with Swift. He's going to stay healthy. He has one of the best offensive lines, one of the best offenses, one of the best defenses as well. Not that that really matters for a running back, but I'm going to go with Swift. Again, really high on Swift. I think I might try to take him early. Try to sneak him because I think it just makes too much sense to the Detroit fan. Seeing a guy just have success after he leaves. So I'll go Swift. The Panthers is going to be an interesting one, though. That Miles Sanders had, he's a fantastic running back. Panthers, however, suck. But he's definitely going to get more opportunities in touching the ball, which you have to think about. But I just think Swift's going to have a breakout year. So I'm going to go with Swift.
I agree. You guys kind of said all the points. I'm going to go with Swift just really because of that offensive line and that offense in general in Philly.
When he plays, he'll be good. Okay. My last two are going to be quarterback related. Would you rather draft Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson, or Justin Herbert?
I'm a Herbert nut, so I would go with Herbert.
Herbie fully loaded, baby.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I know Fields is going to put up 200 rushing yards a game. However, he's going to have negative passing yards. Lamar Jackson, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's all the way bought in, even though he just got paid. I don't know. Just not. I got to go Herbert. I mean, Herbert. All they do is throw the ball. He has a crap load of weapons now, and I think I have a man crush on Justin Herbert.
I agree, dude.
So, gosh.
I think I was looking at Fields. He had just barely over 2,000 passing yards. That's something like 14 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. So, I mean, if I can put Fields in my running back spot, then maybe I'll take Fields. But if I'm going pure quarterback, Justin Herbert. I like Lamar, but he doesn't have like his weapons versus Herbert's weapons are night and day.
You guys forgot though that Justin Fields is the savior, and they're going to go like 14-3 this year, and he's going to be like the next coming of Patrick Mahomes.
I'll get a Justin Fields, like Steve-O from Jackass. He has a picture of himself on his back. I'll get a Justin Fields back-size portrait tattooed on my back if they go 14-3.
Yeah,
I'll second that. I'll do the same thing.
Make it around, baby.
For the sake of the question, I don't typically like doing this, but I'm going to go Lamar. I think Lamar could have a bounce back year, especially with all that contract stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot. Did he sign a franchise tag, or did he get paid?
He got. I don't know if he's playing this year on the franchise tag, but he did get paid.
I think he might have signed a contract. Either way, he's either going to play on that franchise tag, or he's going to play to prove he's worth that money. So either way, I think I'd go Lamar over Herbert and Fields this year.
All right. This is probably somewhat of an easy question. They're back-to-back on ADP. You got A.J. Brown. You got Davante Adams. Who would you rather draft first?
A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, easy. He's got Jalen Hurts. He's not on the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to be a dumpster fire this year. Garoppolo, you guys have to get this draft guy because there's so much good information in there. I think 3 of the last 4 years, he's been like number 1 in getting his yards from yard after catch. So that's easy to do when you have Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk. Now he's going to go to Davante Adams, who I think he'll have a fine year. But A.J. Brown, he's just in a better system. They'll be on the field more for offense. So I love A.J. Brown again this year.
I'm Davante, no question about it. No question. I think they have close games. They trail more. They throw more in the 4th. He'll be a go-to guy. I like Jimmy G quite a bit. I think Davante is the better player. Yeah, that would be a no-brainer for me. I would take Davante all day. More weapons in Philly to get the ball.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Ethan on this.
Oh.
I love Davante Adams this year. I know it's Jimmy G. I know it's the Raiders, but I think the other Devontae Smith is going to be the lead receiver for the Eagles. I think he's going to take over as wide receiver 1. A.J. Brown obviously had a freak year last year, but Devontae Smith had a scary good year as a wide receiver 2. I think he's going to take over. Slim Reaper is going to take over in the Eagles. A.J. Brown doesn't become a wide receiver 2. There's no question that Davante Adams is going to be wide receiver 1. I don't even know what other wide receivers the Raiders have. The little white boy, he's not going to run for the He's not going to do anything. I have Davante Adams. I think Davante Adams is going to end the year wide receiver 3. So I'm heavy on Davante. Also, I was heavy on Davante last year with his college quarterback, and that did not pay off. So
I think Renfro could sneakily be involved in like most catches, most touchdowns type stats this year. I like Renfro.
I love the guy. You're right. I love
him. Just a little possession guy.
This little Wes Welker.
Little Wes Welker. Had a poor year last year. Jimmy G is going to revive his career.
Who is the latest tight end you guys would draft and still feel comfortable with them as your starter every week?
You guys probably know mine from talking last year. It's kind of sad and gross. I think I told Wyatt about him on, when was I? 2 days ago. So I guess I'll start. So my guy is way down the ADP list. I want to say 19th. But I would take him before multiple other guys above him. It's Taysom Hill. I think the versatility of the unicorn has just too much upside. I think I can get him late. I'm shooting for him late. I would like to have maybe another guy I would love to have Kelsey. But if I don't get him, maybe Andrews, Kittle, maybe Waller. But if I can't get those guys, I'll take Taysom Hill.
Do you know how many receptions Taysom Hill had last year?
Probably less than passing and rushing touchdowns.
He had 9
touchdowns and 2-point conversions. Yeah, well, unicorn.
That's fair.
He's good for
That's fair.
7 or 36.2.
Yeah, that is so accurate.
Yeah, I'll take my chances. I mean, I'll take him over I don't know. Tight end was just such a crapshoot last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scarred from tight ends always. I'm always scarred from tight ends because I never have I think there's 4 good ones this year. So I never have the good ones. So then it's me just trying to figure out on waivers who I'm going to pick up. It's really frustrating and it sucks because I need to change my strategy. But With that being said, I'll probably go the 4th tight end, which I think is I have Kittle over Hawk, but I would go Hawk as my last tight end I'd feel comfortable with. After 4, I think it's pretty steep drop off. I kind of like Waller, but everyone I've looked at hates Waller, so that makes me not want Waller. I was talking about it the other night. I do like Gesicki from the Dolphins. However, they have 15 other weapons, and he's way down the list. But
he's on the Patriots now.
Oh, interesting. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
So maybe I mean he's way down the ADP, but I'm going to stay with Hawk at 4, my last confident tight end.
Yeah. I'm going to go Dalton Schultz, and we've talked about him before too. I think he is going to probably be the number 1 receiver on the Texans this year. It's between John Mechie, Nico Collins, and Robert Woods. I don't have any faith in either of those guys. CJ Stroud probably starts this year. I'm assuming he starts week 1, and it's really easy to dump it off to your big tight end. And they signed him to, I believe, a big 1-year contract, so he's looking to get paid again. So I'm pretty high on Schultz again this year.
I said I hate taking rookies, but I think this could be a good tight end rookie class if you're like struggling late. Like Kincaid for Buffalo, even though I love Knox. He might be worth a look. Sam Laporta for Detroit, probably not, but maybe.
He's looking good.
Michael Mayer. Yeah, might not be a bad rookie class for tight ends for fantasy purposes. I could almost guarantee this year's fantasy tight ends will be more productive than last year.
Yeah.
But that's not saying much because last year sucked.
Yeah.
All right, so my last question is revolving around the QB again. It's pretty open-ended, which I apologize for, but which round do you guys typically aim to get a quarterback? I know it probably varies who's been taken, who's available. Obviously, you're going to have to reach for Mahomes and, maybe Lamar and some of those guys, but which do you guys usually reach for those guys, or do you wait, take a late round?
So I've never taken a quarterback first, like the first person taking quarterback off the board. I've never done that. I might do it this year. If I were to do it, I would probably aim for 5th or 6th round. I think that's super early still. But if you're going to do it, you better, you got to set your stakes. So I would say if you're going to try to snag the first quarterback off the board, like Mahomes, I'd probably go maybe 6 or 7. 6, we'll go 6th round. So then my other strategy, which is my most common strategy, to never draft a quarterback until late, as I try to aim for like that top, 7 quarterback and try to get him. But I'll probably go like round 10, probably for that 7th, 8th overall quarterback.
Yeah, I have kind of a rule for fantasy football, and that is fill out all of your starting positions first before you take a quarterback. Like I have no interest in passing up those really valuable positions for a position that you can stream so easily. So let's say you got like the 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex. You get 7 spots you got to fill up. I'm gonna take a quarterback in the 8th if that's the earliest too, because if you still have guys you like that you want to throw on your bench, I would throw them on before. I think I've taken my QB1 around 14 before. Like you don't need to go it early. It's such a streamable position. I wait, and even like guys like Mahomes, it's just I would rather just pass on him.
Right.
Yeah, I'm typically with you guys. I typically wait. I did my 2 kind of claims to fame fantasy-wise. I took Deshaun Watson late his rookie year when he did really well. And then the next year, I believe, I took Patrick Mahomes, I think in the 11th round, his not rookie year, but the first year he started.
Yeah.
Obviously, 2 great guys. So since then, I've always been like kind of hunting for that next player like those 2. Man, I've just gotten screwed in the last few years. So this year, I'm kind of thinking I might take a leap up and try to get Mahomes early, like 3rd round. But I say that, and then I always log on, see the ADP. I see I can get Rodgers in like the 12th round. I'm like, oh, okay. Or
Yeah.
like Stafford before last year. Stafford was a guy I'd always aimed to get. Kirk Cousins is who I ended up with last year. Tom Brady would always fall pretty late. So I don't know. Right now, I'm like, it'd be worth going and getting Mahomes. But once I see that list and see all the guys I can get above Mahomes and the quarterbacks I can get late, I'll probably end up doing what I normally do and taking a late rounder.
Yeah, I just hate the guy that gets the quarterback in 5th or 6th round. It just then everyone starts jumping on quarterbacks, and then you miss. Like it's so stressful, and it happens every single year. But yeah, I think we're all in the same boat there. Also, Ethan, the sleeper this year. Ben, close your ears, or take off your headphones. Aaron Rodgers, sleeper.
Big time sleeper.
Big time.
I haven't heard of him before.
Yeah, he's a new guy. He's just got drafted. All right, my final question is your favorite rookie in the draft class besides Bijan and Gibbs, because those are 1-2 hands down.
Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers. I think he could be the starter in Baltimore by midseason.
I like it.
I don't
I can't
think the top tier rookies went to good situations. Like Jackson Smith's behind DK, Lockett, the guy from TCU, Johnston, behind Allen Williams. Yeah. It's just, and even Hyatt, as exciting as he was, he went to the Giants. So he's just going to be thrown into that, like, 6 guys who could all have the same amount of targets at the end of the year.
Where did Jordan Addison end up? Green
Vikings.
Bay? No. Vikings.
Green Bay is Michigan State. Naylor.
Yeah,
or Reed. Sorry, Reed.
You probably never heard of him before, Ethan.
No, I haven't. Naylor is on the Vikings, though, with Addison.
Naylor? Really know her.
Oh, it was quick. Yeah, I mean, I would probably need to see a list.
Dude, just do your little Detroit boy. You've already talked about him already.
Laporta?
Yeah.
No, I'll go Addison. I think he'll be a nice when Justin Jefferson's getting the CB1 on him. I think Addison will have some opportunities to fill in Thielen's shoes.
Yeah. All great answers, all not the right answer. The correct answer, I've been riding his whatever for so long now. Bryce Young is the rookie we're going to snag. He's going to do it. He's going to have that rookie breakout season. And we're clipping this when it happens because I've made multiple clippings the last couple of shows talking up Bryce Young. And he's going to do it this year. He's going to be my quarterback in the last round. I'll take a kicker before him.
Full of Alabama fans, so they're probably loving the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Will he be able to see over that offensive line? Will he be able to see his receivers?
There's been shorter. Kyler Murray just has to run outside the pocket to see.
How's Kyler doing right now?
Well, Drew Brees was shorter, or as short. There's a couple short. Yeah. Damn.
So when we were talking about the Canton Ghost, bringing up the Kansas 87-year-old Navy guy, Bryce Young's gonna be like the kid with a potato for a brain guy who just goes. You guys know what video I'm talking about with that?
Yeah, but that's CJ Stroud if we're talking about potato brain.
Well, I'm talking more about the hit.
Yeah, the Make-A-Wish kid.
Yeah.
Just gets lit up.
Hey guys, be nice to CJ Stroud. He can't read the menu at restaurants and the waiters get real mad at him.
Oh man. Well, we'll clip it. We'll see. I wouldn't hate it. I'm rooting for Bryce Young.
Yeah. I'm surprised that is the branch you're dying on.
Michigan never played them. I have nothing against them. So now if we talk about Georgia players, nope. But Bryce Young's my guy. He's my guy. Everyone's hating on him. He's my guy.
Ethan, you need
Speaking of
something
Georgia players,
because
speaking of
I'm
Georgia players,
yeah, I'm going all
I was gonna say-
anti-Rodgers, and Wyatt's going all in on Bryce Young. So you need to go super far one direction on somebody.
on one of those two.
No, just on your own player. You just need somebody.
Oh, who I'm going all in on or
Yeah.
all against?
Or all, yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say is if you have like a keeper league, I don't think Stetson Bennett is a horrible draft pick. But that's not the guy I'm going all in on. Let's see here.
You're gonna make fun of me for Bryce Young, then you're gonna bring up Stetson Bennett.
In a keeper league, I think
The dude's
Stafford's
shorter than
fine.
Bryce, and he's 2 years older than Lamar.
Exactly, knows what he's doing. I think Stetson's gonna have a decent NFL career.
I'd take Zappy over Stetson in a heartbeat.
Gosh, I don't know who I'm all in on.
You don't have to have it today. You just have to have somebody at some point.
I mean, my guy has always been my guy that I talk about too much, but it's just so obvious. It's Austin Eckler, but he's too easy. So, yeah, I'll come up with somebody.
Gotcha. That's what I was gonna
I'll let
say.
you guys
Ethan, like I guess Travis Kelce will be all right this year. Like Ethan, way to go
Yeah.
out on a limb, man.
Yeah, give me him.
Wyatt,
Yeah.
tell the viewers about our draft guide.
Ben's been working day and night for this thing. It's beautiful. You've never seen a system where you can actually have a numerical value on a player, which I think is extremely important. I'm super excited for this. Over 100 pages. We're going to have multiple different mock drafts with a bunch of different creators that you can look up as well. Super exciting stuff coming out July 7th. So stay tuned for that. We are giving away 3 draft guides as well. So make sure you like and subscribe. And super excited.
Excellent recap, Wyatt. We're so excited for the draft guide. We're so excited to be giving out free draft kits, stickers, and draft boards to you guys. All you have to do is subscribe to Better in Green and follow us on social so you can share some of our content to be entered into the contest. For the question of the day, we want you to save it because we want you guys joining us on Monday on our live. We're answering all fantasy football questions. Make sure you guys join us. That's going to be Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time. We are on every Monday. Make sure you guys come see us over there. And guys, football's back, baby.
Doesn't even feel real. Football's back. Fingers.
We are back.
We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace, guys.
We'll see you guys.
See you guys.
You better start listening to the Better in Green podcast. You will not regret it. Trust me, trust me, trust me. And hey, I'm Dean Blandino.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? To Better in Green, eh? Listen in and cash out. That's what it's all about. Come on, let's make cash now. We always on spot and we cover all spot from the bottom to the top, eh? Shout out to Ethan, shout out to Wyatt, shout out to Ben. Welcome, welcome to our podcast, Better in Green.